Yo, what's going on? It's your boy Nikolai Capone, and I'm seeing that 82.9% of you are not subscribed to the channel. Oh, my eye! Make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe button for your boy. Helps with the channel growth. Appreciate it. Okay, well, we'll go to some... I wanted to actually go, since we're already talking about, like, you know, I guess darker type shit, you know? We can go to the comic book killer. I wanted to actually see this one yesterday. But I was too tired, bro. I was tired as fuck yesterday. But that, man, that's fucking crazy. Anyway, let's go ahead and see the case of Blake Leibel, aka the comic book killer. Let's go.
Hey you, and welcome. My name is Mike. And in
this is the same
video,
dude
we're gonna talk
that
about
I watched earlier.
Comic books. You might not have heard about this one though. I severely doubt it'll be joining the MCU. Name is Syndrome, made in 2010. It's an odd one, to say the least. We'll get into it, and it led to a very strange situation of life.
Got a fade, bro. All right, bro. No worries. Thank you for coming through, bro. Appreciate you, man. Much love. He was such a big fan of his own work. He was his own biggest cheerleader that he decided to make it a reality. What?
So let's give it a go.
What, is he from the UK or something? Give it a go? All love, bro. Appreciate you, my man. Thank you.
It's Los Angeles that we're off to. I know, right? You know, hold your horses there, Mr. Moneybags. Big shot off in Hollywood. Yeah, it's a LA. Big whoop. But that's where everyone goes to follow their dreams, so long as those dreams involve fame and glamour. And they certainly did for Blake Leibel. Okay, right, you guys, this story, it's very weird, but it's not set in Canada. But Blake is Canadian, so that explains it. Our boyo Blake
I'm about to say, what the fuck happened?
In 1981 in Toronto, to a well-to-do family, raised in the nice old neighborhood of Forest Hill. He was the younger of two. His parents, Eleanor and Lorne, both were separately rich, of course they were, old sport. His mama Eleanor, she was the daughter of a plastic sheeting tycoon. I know, right? Who hasn't, heard of Polytarp Products Limited? His dad, Lorne, who he wasn't particularly close with, Blake, by the way. See, Lorne and Eleanor, they split up when the kids were young. Blake lived with his mother, Blake's brother Cody with his dad. So Blake's dad was, as I said, wealthy in his own right. He had sailed for Canada in the Olympics.
So what happened?
He was big into car racing. And then he developed a shitload of homes in and outside of Toronto in like the 80s and 90s. So that was the world Blake came from. Little dysfunctional. His granddad was a real piece of work. Blake's granddad wrote in his will that before you can get your inheritance, you have to take a HIV test. But well, who cares, because they were rich.
These motherfuckers are disrespectful, golly, man.
So Blake lived the privileged life, and in the 2000s, when he was in his 20s, he moved with his buddies, also rich of course, to LA. His brother Cody was already trying, and somewhat succeeding, somewhat failing, to make a name for himself with record labels, and in the poker scene, rubbing elbows with the Russian mob. While Blake, he was going to be the artiste, the creator
Russian
of worlds.
mob, huh?
Oh man, he's going to make such good art. Going to be big. And while entrenching himself in the creative juices of LA, making the connections, networking, doing all that kind of stuff, he did create. Absolute shite.
Oh, okay. I'm about to say, what the fuck did he create, bro?
Old, and I'm losing all of my hair. Come in. I can't live like this anymore. What do you need money for? So that I can get a hair transplant. You let a doctor cut open your head? Not just any doctor. I want the guy who did Matthew McConaughey.
Here's Bald from 2008, directed by Blake Leibel.
Max, I'm gonna kick your ass.
I'm going...
Max, I am gonna kick your ass, Max.
Bald, obese.
So, I had my first heart attack while playing with myself.
That's not so bad.
My mom and her bridge club found me.
I've once had 13 orgasms.
Hired.
I'll suck your dick, sis.
What?
What the fuck?
Giving a bald man a second chance. Bald on 3.
Wow, what a hoot that movie looks like, and I'm sure the cast, looking back, would
Actually, that didn't even look like a movie. That looked like a sitcom on TV, bro.
agree.
The
I think
fuck?
you can find it on Prime if you want to ruin your day. It wasn't widely reviewed because it wasn't widely released. So thanks, Blake. He also worked on
It's probably for the
Spaceballs,
best.
the animated series.
How come I've never been down here before?
We remodeled, sir. The bowels used to be on the main floor, not down here.
You know, now that I think about it, I've seen this before. Not like an episode per se, but I've seen it, like a preview of it before.
But that didn't make any sense. So we changed the bowels.
So you moved your bowels. How long did that take?
Months.
I know nothing about animation, but that looks terrible. Again, you can find a few
Yeah, this looked
episodes on
pretty bad.
YouTube if you want to be mildly annoyed or even worse, bored. So far, Blake is knocking it out of the park and into the dump. What else did he create during his rampage of creativity? Here's an appearance from Blake at the New York Comic-Con in 2008.
And we are here with United Free Worlds. You are a comic book company.
Yes.
That has an amazing book out right now, and it's actually a little bit, well, you say that it's a little bit different from everybody else out here, and why is that?
Our work is slightly different because we take more time in making the artwork a higher quality. We take a
Yo, is she just like, what? Is she eating something or is she like about to smoke, bro? Can you do that in a convention center?
very extreme detail. It's very serious to us.
Oh no, she's just eating a lollipop. I was like, what the fuck did she?
And I guess that's what sets us above everyone else, is that we like to take the time to really put in the extra effort. Because this isn't school. There's no reason to rush this or do it the night before.
That's true.
He seems like, well, you can tell the interviewers are trying to wrap this up as quickly as possible.
Yeah, no,
That's
they
true.
seem like mad fucking uninterested in him, bro.
Tell us a little bit about the storyline
The
behind.
storyline is about when a new planet enters our solar system, the Earth unites and we put down our weapons. And we find a new enemy that's about 12 to 18 feet, and they ride and control dinosaurs like dogs. And when we go to war, they absolutely annihilate us the first time. To give you a small example,
I'm sorry, but that seems like a terrible fucking story, bro.
50 pterodactyls connected to a big net open up and swallow in about 400 helicopters, carry them into the sky, and then cut that net like it was nothing and let that bag of helicopters fall to the ground.
They can't really have thought that that was a good fucking story. There's just no way. There's no way anybody was like, yes, bro, that's the story right there. That's the fucking kicker right there. Like, come on, bro. No way.
Now imagine for a moment being inside of that bag of helicopters. What would that look like? How would you feel?
I'd probably be dead.
Actually, holy shit, that sounds rad.
And then one tribe has an equal balance between men and women, and from them come the greatest warriors and the most successful tribesmen, which does a little parallel into real life, which is that a mom and dad are very nice.
And are you the creator yourself?
Yes.
So that was one comic book. Dinosaurs, always a winner.
Yes.
But there's another one I'd like to talk to you about. Name of Syndrome. It was released in 2010, and it goes a little something like this. Part of the introduction goes, whoever is in charge is...
Who said that? Hold on. Who said that this was a good idea, bro? Come on, man.
Part of the introduction goes, whoever is in charge is the slave. They answer to, we the people, the ambivalent environment, unknown groups, and lastly, themselves. We, the alleged slave, are the boss. It kind of goes on and on. Whoa, dude, that's deep. The graphic novel centers around a doctor, Dr. Chitel. Funnily enough, Blake's mother, that's her maiden name. And this doctor is studying serial killers. The major plot revolves around how this doctor, he's working on this big project. He hires loads of actors to live in this fake town. Then he fakes a serial killer's execution so he can
I won't even front. Like the actual like drawings of everything actually look pretty good.
experiment on him, wipes his mind, and then lets him loose in the fake town so he can study him. Imagine the Truman Show, but Jim Carrey is a serial killer. He's basically trying to cure killers by giving them, well, empathy. Because, as he says, evil is not some mysterious force operating out there in the universe. Evil is a syndrome. Whoa, that's the title. What would a cure for that be worth? There is a lot of blood and bodies in it. Oh, it's like that foreshadowing, people go on and on about. Anyway, so while he was doing all this creating, Blake married. In 2011, he married a former model named Amanda Braun, and she would give birth to a son a month after they tied the knot.
Low-key, he kind of winning, bro. He kind of winning on right now. Pretty good from what I see, an actual good story. I don't know what the fuck the dinosaur story was. But like that story actually seemed interesting. He got a model wife. I mean, he seems like he's winning so far.
Together, they lived in Beverly Hills, baby.
And Beverly Hills too. That's where he's living. Like that's crazy. That's good.
The other half.
How fuck does this fuck up?
Lived. But shockingly, these bits and bobs, Blake was creating, they weren't exactly flying off the shelves. Bald wasn't a #1 hit. I don't know why not. Blake wasn't exactly making, Boku books over there, but he was living the high life, so he was spending like he was. These projects cost a lot.
Oh, okay.
On paper, at least. And he was financing them via the bank of mom and dad. This stressed him out, as you can imagine. He also had a big old weed habit who wasn't exactly punctual or reliable. And darker content was more and more his cup of tea. Bring back the dinosaurs.
Yes.
The shit really hit the fan when Eleanor, Blake's mother, passed away in 2011. This devastated him. They were close. Oh, he was closer to her bank account.
That's fucked up. That's so fucked up.
He received millions when she passed. Millions he quickly pissed away. So much so that in 2013 he sued to have her will overturned so he could get a few dollars more. He was broke. His attempt to overturn
he's a motherfucker for that. That's terrible.
The will failed, and he then owed more money to the lawyers.
Sheesh. That's actually
It was in the
terrible.
spring of 2015 that Blake spiraled further. He left his wife, Amanda Braun, who was 8 months pregnant. He stopped returning calls to friends and family, and it seemed like the entertainment industry, Hollywood, whatever, it chewed him up and spat him out.
Like, bro, if he had just went ahead and like used his money just like a regular human being was, instead of like pissing away his millions, he'd be living comfortably right now.
Now, while this weirdness was going on, he just up and left his wife, they were in the process of divorce, other friends would say he was actually not doing so bad. He was still close with his son and was working on a new project, a comic called Psychopomp. It seemed like it was maybe just like a little breakdown he had, one he had kind of been building up towards after his mother passed, and then he was, true and on the other side. He met someone new, Iana Kasian, a former tax lawyer from Kiev, Ukraine. She moved to LA and...
My man winning with the women? What the fuck is going on? What is going on, bro?
Was becoming a translator when she met Blake. Blake keeps punching above his weight. Though he would later say that he always thought women were just interested in him for his money. I'm racking my brains to see his other positive qualities.
How would you feel?
And they seemed very happy together. So happy that Iana herself would become pregnant within a couple of months. She gave birth in May 2016. However, Blake had other worries than money. His brother Cody, who played poker with the mafia, maybe he was in debt to the wrong people.
Not playing poker with the mafia.
Blake was stressing out about his brother, so he calmed his nerves by seeing another woman while he was divorcing his first wife, and his new girlfriend had just given birth.
Sheesh, my man player.
What a guy. I guess we're the real winners here, though, because he didn't have time to work on his art. However, roughly 2 weeks after Iana gave birth, Blake's new girl accused him of sexual assault. He was arrested and spent 15 hours in jail before posting the $100,000 bail. Iana was not best pleased, as you can imagine. She took the baby, moved out of their condo and down to a rental unit a couple of blocks away. Her mother Olga was visiting from Ukraine helping with the baba, so she was there too. And Blake was not pleased. In return, he demanded Iana move back in with him, sans baby. This came to a head on the 23rd of May.
How you gonna, bro? How are you gonna demand someone to come? How you gonna demand somebody to come, like, live with you again when you fucked up and you just got done like cheating and then getting caught for sexual harassment, right? Like, or sexual assault. Like, come on, bro.
Blake told her to come over to his condo. Iana left her baby with her mother, and so she went. And that was that. The next day, Olga still hadn't heard from Iana, so she was, she called the police to ask them to go and check on them, because she couldn't get in when she was over there knocking on the door, she couldn't get through like the gate. They weren't much help, even though she was knocking on the door, shouting, trying to get in, even after seeing Blake through the window on his 3rd floor condo. When one occupant left, she managed to book it inside, and after knocking, she called the police once more. This time they came, but there was nothing they could do. They couldn't exactly kick down the door. They knocked, no answer. Alright, there's no like blood leaking through, under the door. We can't hear any screaming. They just left him a nice little voicemail.
Hello, this message is from Blake Leibel. This is the West Hollywood Sheriff Station here at your apartment, and we need to speak to you immediately, sir.
I want to get my daughter out of that apartment safely. I want to open the doors to break into that
I can already tell the foreshadowing.
apartment and get my daughter out. It's 3 weeks since she had a C-section, and she needs doctor's attention.
Okay, this is what I'll do. Tell her I will send deputies to do a welfare check to see if she is there.
Yes, ma'am. She won't open the door. They already tried to do that, and they tried to knock, but he doesn't open. He won't open the door.
Okay, we'll do another welfare check, and we will call her to let her know the outcome, and then we'll go from there as far as possibly doing a missing persons report.
Yes, ma'am. When are you going to go there? Because her life is in danger.
We're going as soon as we hang up.
Oh, well, damn.
It was on the 26th of May, Iana hadn't been seen since the 23rd, that Olga once again was banging on the door and called the police. And this time they decided, okay, enough time has passed, she just gave birth, we should find her. They got a key from the building
Gotta see what's going on, Chad.
The door was latched from the inside. So someone was there, and they kicked it down. The hallway door was locked and barricaded. And as they moved through the condo, they called it.
Oh no. Damn. This motherfucker, dude.
To no response. And that's when they began to see blood. The door to the master bedroom was also barricaded. It was barricaded with a mattress. And Blake shouted out from behind it, basically telling the police that Iana wasn't there. And fuck off. A friend of Blake's arrived, his accountant, and convinced him to open the door to the police, which he did. As he came out in his tidy-whities, the police found he had his passport and $4 grand in cash with him. It seemed like he may be trying to flee back to his native Canada. There was blood everywhere. Iana was on the bed. Blake was covered in scratches, bruises, bites. Iana, a hell of a lot more.
Micah shared it's been
Wait, so she's alive? Or is she dead?
about 10 hours since that body was discovered this morning.
Oh,
And as
okay,
you
she
can
was
see
dead.
right
I was like,
behind
what?
me, investigators are still on scene. We spoke with neighbors earlier about what they heard.
Arguing, like screaming, but it wasn't a back and forth. It was just like a girl, like, I don't know. It was just crazy. It was very scary.
Some people heard
What's good,
screaming,
punk?
I guess. They didn't know exactly what it was. They thought it was music.
Neighbors say there was a lot of commotion
They thought it was me. Get the fuck out of here, bro. You thought that was music? Get the
coming
fuck
from
out of
the
here.
area of the condo complex where a woman was found Thursday, beaten to death inside her unit. Authorities say they initially
Jesus.
responded to the building on Holloway Drive near La Cienega Boulevard around 11:30 a.m. after the victim's mother asked them to do a welfare check.
She hadn't seen her daughter for a day or so and called West Hollywood Station to report her missing.
When sheriff's deputies showed up at the door,
They heard noises in the apartment.
Concerned, they forced entry and came into contact with the victim's live-in boyfriend and father of her child.
He was agitated and uncooperative.
Authorities say he tried to stop deputies.
And in his tidy whities for.
He had barricaded himself in the apartment, you know, had placed furniture and bedding all around the apartment to prevent us from entering.
Let me just read you this section of the autopsy. It's gruesome. Kasian's entire scalp was traumatically absent and was not
I appreciate you, Punk. My man. Thank you, bro. I seen that. Thank you, bro.
found.
Much love,
was
man.
Not present with the body.
Always got to do
Her
work, you know what I'm
skull had been
saying?
stripped down to the surface of the bone. There was no scalp present except for little bits on the back of the neck. Portions of the right side of her face were torn away, including the right ear and part of the posterior face on the right side. All the way down to the jawline.
What the fuck is wrong with these motherfuckers, bro? Golly.
There were quite a number of bruises and abrasions on the face, including one which turned out to be a human bite mark.
My bad. Okay. Anyway, back to what we were doing. Let's finish off the video real quick.
After receiving the scalp injury and the bruise to the collarbone. I have never seen this before, and I doubt if hardly any forensic pathologists in this country or abroad have ever seen this outside of, perhaps, wartime. It is extremely rare. Blake was arrested, and he denied having anything to do with the woman who was traumatically murdered in his apartment. The entire condo was covered in blood, but it wasn't readily apparent. Blake had tried to clean up. When luminol came in, it lit the shit up. It was blood loss that killed Iana. He had used a razor and his hands to cut and rip her apart. They had fought, and Blake...
Oh my god, bro. These motherfuckers are fucking crazy, bro.
Blake had done this throughout the entire condo, and it took about 8 hours for her to die. Blake, as I said, he had tried to clean up.
Fucking
with the
weirdo.
Police taken a dozen bags from the dumpster, filled with cleaning supplies and clothing.
Bro, like, let's be honest, bro. How are you gonna fucking kill somebody and then, like, knowing that you're gonna get fucking caught because her mom's there and she's waiting for her to fucking come out? Like, bro, that's fucking stupid. That's actually fucking stupid. And it's not like this dude wasn't fucking demented. He did it slowly. She died 8 hours. It took him 8 hours. 8 hours for her to die. So that's fucking stupid, bro. Like, I don't know.
In June 2018, Blake went on trial.
He's being called the graphic novel killer. Prosecutors say a comic book he created depicted a chilling murder that foreshadowed his own fiance's slaying.
I've seen some gruesome crimes, and this is one of the most gruesome.
Syndrome came up for the prosecution, saying that the murder, it was styled after that, from the scalping to the blood loss.
This illustration from the novel shows the murder victim on a blood-soaked mattress. And this police photo from the real-life crime scene also shows a bloody mat. The character tells a waitress, "I am filthy, stinking rich," just like Leibel, who comes from a wealthy family.
The prosecution argued he was jealous of the attention she gave to her new daughter, and so, I mean, if the defense managed to get a not guilty out of this, that would be impressive. It would also be impossible.
Sadism is the gratification, obviously, from the infliction of pain and suffering on another. And we know that in this case, the defendant obviously enjoyed it because he continued to do it for hours and hours.
He showed zero emotion following his murder conviction.
We, the jury, find the defendant guilty.
I don't know if I don't know what that look is. Is it a look of shock? Is it a look of understanding? Is he just off in his own world? What is it? What is that look, bro?
Guilty of the crime of torture.
At his sentencing yesterday in Los Angeles, the victim's grieving mother, who's from Ukraine, spoke through an interpreter.
I never thought that one day my life would be broken, that it would turn into hell and endless suffering.
He was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole.
Yeah, holy shit.
Denied. It's interesting that he worked on a graphic novel about a doctor trying to Like, install empathy in killers, when that was something Blake obviously lacked. He tortured the mother of his child for 8 hours. He even ordered food while she was bleeding out, while he was torturing her.
The fuck?
The doctor in the book was named after his mother. And maybe this was something he saw in himself, trying to cure evil. And what would a cure for that be worth? Well, write about what you know. Right?
Yes.
They fucked up for doing that. They actually fucked up.
Thank you so much for watching. I really, really do appreciate you taking the time. And sure, go on. I'll see you as always real soon.
Oh, no problem, buddy.